This is Caleb Gordon. Caleb, among other Christian rappers, have hopped on a trend that almost ended his channel and may eventually become the fate of other Christian rappers if they don't change what they're doing. Join me as we look into two of the main catalysts for why this needs to stop. In late September, a post was made by Kayla that made waves through Christian hip hop.
And then some of them are just downright copies.
A playlist of Christian hip hop songs and the artists they copied. Now, if we ever look through this playlist, you can see there's 113 songs. It goes on forever. Some of your favorite artists are on here. Now, I wouldn't say that I agree with all of them, but some of them are pretty blatant. For example, RAVE Type's song, which is a remix of Fiend, but if you were to find it on Spotify, you might not even know that it's a Fiend. Now, my first thought was, is this even legal? I mean, I'm all for Christ glorifying lyrics, but if it's the exact same song, but Christian, that feels like stealing to me. So I had to look up, find out for myself, and what I found was that I became very confused.
If it's a sample, meaning it's actually a thing from the original song, it's a vocal, it's instrumental, it's the guitar loop, there's something in your version that is from that actual song that's called a sample. You can't do that, and you might get a strike.
And it's a very important thing to understand. The difference between a remix and a cover.
A good thing to note here is sampling is probably not okay and remixes are not okay. So this does not cover sampling. If you're using an actual sample from a song, that's not a cover.
There are a lot of different components when talking about making music, uploading it onto Spotify. So I had to go to the next best thing, ChatGPT. So I asked, and this was the response I got: legally creating and releasing a version of a song with new lyrics and uploading it onto Spotify can be complex due to copyright laws. And it gave us 3 categories: covers, derivative works, and parodies. But to me, this looks like a derivative work. I'm sure RAVE Types is a nice guy. There are other artists that have done this, but I'd be very careful with this. Now, Caleb, who wasn't the worst culprit, he would put his own flair on it, but he had an ironically named EP copyright infringement on Spotify, where he had the full remixes with the exact same instrument. Interesting thing to note, Christian rapper Torey had something to weigh in on this on the indie tribe song Pulp Fiction. Shout out to Mitch Durrell's comment section for putting me on this.
To them branding meetings until you see God brand. Holy of holies, holy moly, Christian music lost the molar because we bite too much. We fight too much. Uploading stolen songs for profit, copyright too much. Call it a blessing, invite months to copyright with us. God was the top creator before he became a savior. Don't gotta take from the trader, chew on it like now or later. We can't let artists the greatest, cause God the artist the greatest. We can't let the devil bait us, come fade the greatest debaters, the tribe.
The second reason, as this whole story comes full circle with Caleb Gordon releasing a song named Copyright Strike, where he goes into some of the consequences that putting up songs like this that don't have clear examples in them.
Copyright strike. When they hit my song with a copyright strike. Knew that I was wrong, but I still took flight. Almost crash landed, telling everybody don't panic. Yeah. If you rockin' with me, then I apologize. Dropped a lot of songs only cause I was frustrated. People, they would tell me that they got me, it would help me clear these songs, but I found out they was just making statements. I could've been patient, I could've waited, but I see my dogs going up for the songs that they sampled, and I'm thinking that I could've made it. Wasn't even thinking I was falling to temptation. Wasn't even thinking what my Father in heaven thinking. See, I even came up with a logical explanation, thinking they would never find a song, and if they ever find a song, then they probably would just take some payment. I dropped copyright infringement, knew I was stealing. I seen the numbers going up, I'm like, what a feeling. Look how quickly I done turned music to an idol. Look how quickly I got up and went against the Bible. I dropped the war in the city, dropped the war outside. That's when the label went and hit me, telling me they really love the song, like, Kayla, come and sign with me. Then it got tricky. Didn't clear the sample, but I went ahead and used it. Went on tour, came back home and seen a copyright strike. They cut the cord, dawg, they went and turned out the lights. Was mad and confused, but that don't mean that I was right. I'm like, the people love it, but I see the repercussions. Could've lost all that I had all for the sake of buzzing. See people clapping their hands, they love the way I done it. See artists follow the plan because they seen I done it, while I just sit in the stands quietly saying nothing. I don't wanna live disobedient over songs. Deleted all the samples and remixes, not for long. I found a better way, a company to help me clear the songs you wanna play. I'ma do it all legally before I let it spray. I'ma go get the clearance before I let it spray. I'ma focus on hearing the Lord and what he say.
Let this be a warning to all Christian rappers out there that uploading these songs, especially to streaming services, can be illegal and straight up the wrong thing to do. Let's be the ones that push the culture and the ones that are being copied, rather than the ones doing the straight up copying. Let's be creative and push our culture forward. God bless.